care about. WLBB, Carrollton, News Talk, 1330, FM 106.3.
And good morning. Welcome to Community Voice. I am your host, Josh Engel. It is 8:31 a.m., Wednesday, October 7th. A cool October morning out there today. We have the nonprofit organization Keep Carroll Beautiful in the studio with us today. And that includes the executive director, Martyna Griffin, and board member for 2 years.
Hannah
2 years. She's an elder in the KCB world, Hannah Smith. Southwire employee that is kind enough to join the board and help make the work of KCB possible. So, good morning, ladies. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning. We're doing well.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and on Facebook Live. So, why don't we just first introduce both of you for those who may be tuning in and may not be familiar with you or the organization. Tell us a bit about you and the organization.
So we represent Keep Carroll Beautiful, and we deal with all things recycling, litter prevention, and beautification. So we have a big event coming up in just a couple of days, this Saturday.
Yes, we're so excited. We just had our 5K fundraiser this past Saturday with a great success. It was great fun. Thank you again for all the runners who participated in this community event.
And it was a great turnout, yes.
Yeah, we had a great turnout. We had like over 70 runners, which
I think we had over 80, which is double the numbers from last year. So we were super excited to have everybody come out. And speaking of a cold morning, today is a t-shirt weather compared to
that
last Saturday. Yeah. So
everyone's showing up in parkas.
Yeah,
no,
pretty
for
much.
Sure. But yeah, we're hoping that y'all will continue to come out for our electronic recycling event this Saturday. We know the community is so ready for this event. We've been having phone calls since this past spring because I know it was sadly canceled due to COVID, but we are back and we are strong and we are ready for you this Saturday.
It is happening. That's what we're going to be talking about today, the e-recycling event. It's their fall recycling event. It's going to be happening at Midway Church this Saturday from when to when?
9 in the morning to 1 p.m. And we are only doing this at Midway this year, so we just wanted to stress that through the program. There's no drop of location in Carrollton this time. It's going to be only at Midway Church.
Sure, which is perfect because it's very equidistant between a lot of different cities.
Yeah.
So if you have some electronics, you can bring them out there. But let's take a step back here.
Okay.
Let's talk a bit about, so you're the executive director. You've been the executive director this year for how many months now?
8.
Right
since February. So
you happened to take it on at a very difficult time.
Yes, perfect timing to start a new job.
Perfect timing to start a new job. So why don't we talk about that? How has your first tenure as executive director been during the season of COVID?
It hasn't been bad. We had a lot of time to focus on our website, which is keepcarrollbeautiful.org. We have a lot of information over there on recycling in the community. You can check, if you want to drop something off at a Carroll County Convenience Center, we have all the items that are accepted. We have info on the Carrollton recycling curbside pickup and now the debris pickup. So we updated the graphic scheme and we updated the ease of accessing your information too. So
the new website is great.
Yeah, Marty completely revamped it, which I so appreciate. It's so much easier to navigate, as well as, honestly, it just looks better. So
it does look better. It looks hip, looks trendy, and easier to use for all the folks that, and there are many individuals in the community that not only support the work of KCB, but are very environmentally conscious themselves. And you guys also do a lot of beautification efforts and do so many things for the county. But yeah, it has to have been a tough time.
We started with celebrating 15 years and we were going to throw a big party.
Yeah, we were so ready for it.
Yeah, so a month in we have to redo everything and turn it into a virtual event, which I think was really good.
It really was. I think Marty knocked it out of the park with her idea of doing a release every day of something new, which I think was really cool because you got to see a lot of different faces throughout our board members. Each day was a different board member.
Right. We did 15 days for 15 years, and we had a lot of little videos, and they're still available on our website too under I think it's our About section. You can see the 15th birthday, and all the articles and all the posts are listed there. So you can see Hannah. Hannah, you were talking about...
I was talking about bulk
light bulbs.
recycling.
Yeah.
I was so fun. Yeah, I took a trip to Home Depot. If you did not know you can recycle bulbs at Home Depot, now you know. You can also do it at Lowe's as well.
And these are the fluorescent bulbs that are...
No, these are the compact, the little curly bulbs.
the little curly bulbs. Okay.
The fluorescent, unfortunately, they have to go to either Noonan or Douglasville. I think the company is called Batteries Plus. Or if you happen to go to Atlanta, they accept them at Charm. They probably have the best prices, but Charm has really funny hours, so you always have to check before heading out if they're open that day. So
Sure. Well, life gave you limits, so you took this time when you might not be able to do in-house recycling efforts, and you revamped the website, and you were putting all this effort into these programs. So you're working up. You're really making the most of the year and doing the best you can for the organization, which is tremendous. And I wanted to ask a bit, Hannah. You're a board member. You've been on the board for a couple of years now. Tell us a bit about that. How's that journey been?
It has been wonderful, especially so when I joined the board member, I was just fresh out of college, didn't know a whole lot, and I grew up in Bremen, Georgia, so I was familiar with Carrollton and Keep Carroll Beautiful, but never really knew, I guess you could say, the heart of Carrollton. So it was great just to get familiar with more like what is available in Carrollton for recycling, as well as just getting to know other board members and getting to know, because they're all like secretly sustainability gurus is what I call them. I think it was great just for my sustainability journey just to learn more and grow from their experiences and what they do within the community. So it's been a great 2 years, and I've really enjoyed working for Marty these past 8 months. She's, again, really revamped our social media and our online presence, which I think in today's age is so important, especially for the younger generations. That's where we live, that's where we breathe, is online. So it's kind of crucial to be heavily online. But I think Marty does a really great balance of making sure we're online, but also making sure that our folks who enjoy the newspaper still are reached. So don't you worry, we're still reaching you. So Marty's done a great job these past 8 months. It's been a good job.
Excellent. So. Well, you're an employee of Southwire as well.
Yes.
And I know it's no stranger that Southwire is very focused on sustainability.
Yes, we are.
What is
Strong, sustainable Southwire.
Yeah, that's
Gotta
it. I was
love
trying to remember what that saying was. Yeah. Strong, sustainable Southwire. And yeah, Southwire's been a long-time partner. This year, they're not going to be facilitating the e-recycling event due to the COVID situation, but it is going to be happening at Midway this year, which is exciting. It's great. There's a lot of room over there, and as we mentioned earlier, it is equidistant between a lot of places. So
Yes. Southwire will be supporting from afar. You'll still see the Giving Back truck. We'll be just supporting you from afar.
Yeah, and we I think the setup is really nice too, because you're just basically driving in a big circle. Yeah, you don't have to maneuver through the parking lot. It's going to be pretty simple to get in and out and drop your stuff. And we strongly ask that everybody stays in their vehicles. We have volunteers who will be wearing gloves and masks, and we're trying to keep everyone protected, including our board, our staff, and the volunteers. So if we could please ask you to put your things in the back of your car or in the bed of the pickup truck.
Yeah,
or in the trunk.
We still want that Chick-fil-A drive-through scenario. That's still the goal. We just want that Chick-fil-A drive-through with mask and having your e-recycling ready to go in your trunk. And we will open up the door gladly, or you can pop up the trunk ready for us, and volunteers will be ready there to unload it for you.
Excellent. Well, we're going to take our first break, but when we come back, we're going to continue our conversation with Keep Carroll Beautiful as we discuss their upcoming e-recycling event. So stay with us.
At Oak Mountain Academy, our daily schedule includes convocation, prayer, and the Pledge of Allegiance. By doing so, we build a family-like community where all students grow and flourish and personal faith is encouraged. Through community service and a historical approach to biblical study, our students are taught the value of the warrior way, honesty, respect, and responsibility. Oak Mountain Academy. We are a family creating legacies. To learn more, visit oakmountain.us.
For more than 70 years, you have turned to Tanner Health System for your healthcare needs. As our community moves forward, Tanner is here for you, strong, safe, and close to home. Routine medical appointments, urgent elective surgeries, and imaging are back on the calendar at our hospitals and Tanner Medical Group practices. With the safety of our patients, staff, and community always our top priority. Learn more at tanner.org. #WeAreTannerStrong. That's tanner.org. #WeAreTannerStrong.
And we're back.
Good morning.
Community Voice. I am your host, Josh Engel. It is 8:40 a.m., Wednesday, October 7th, and we are talking to Keep Carroll Beautiful about the fall e-recycling event they got going on this weekend from 9 to 1 at Midway Baptist Church on Villa Rica Highway, between Carrollton and Villa Rica. So we're talking to the executive director of Keep Carroll Beautiful, Martyna Griffin, as well as longtime board member Hannah Smith. We were just speaking about how this particular e-recycling is going to be a bit different than the events in the past. Why don't we talk a bit about the planning? What had to go into planning this event to be COVID friendly?
Well, we're lucky that we stocked up on hand sanitizer last year for our cleanup, so we are good on this one. But we had to seriously consider the health and well-being of our employees, of our board members, volunteers, and of course the participants. So we made the decision to follow all the CDC and Georgia Department of Health rules on mask wearing, gloves, social distancing, and basically staying as much, as far away from people as possible. So we still have, as Hannah just mentioned, the Chick-fil-A style when we have volunteers that will come up to your car and take your recycling for you. So if you could please put it in the trunk or in the back seat in the bed of your pickup truck and not get out of the vehicle.
Yes, please have it ready. That way the volunteers can quickly open up the door, grab the e-recycling, and you can be on your merry way. Enjoy this nice fall weather that we've been having on your Saturday morning. As well as Atlanta Recycling Solutions has been our longtime vendor for all our previous e-recycling events, and they are continuing to work with us this year, so we are super thankful for them. They will also be wearing masks and gloves, so everyone there will be having masks and gloves. So again, please stay in your car and just have your e-recycling ready to go in the back seat or in the trunk.
So this is a very streamlined event. It's very, very streamlined. You roll in, they take care of stuff, and roll out. Are there any costs associated with disposing of these materials?
Yes, there are, and we are very fortunate to have our sponsors for the event. So we have Carrol this year is leading with a forklift. They're awesome. They are helping us in kind with the labor and the forklift itself. We have Southland Insurance Agency sponsoring us financially, as well as SLM Recycling, the Sheriff's Office, and Villa Rica Golden City Lions, which we are really happy to reach out to Villa Rica too, because it's great to just expand our locations. So the Carroll County is always supporting us too, and of course, Gradic Communication. Thank you for having us and letting us talk about the event.
Well, this is great, and thanks to those sponsors. But there won't be any cost for the people that bring recycling.
No.
Yeah, there's no cost.
So between the Southwires,
right.
We've got Southwire, we've got Midway, and all the wonderful sponsors that Marty just listed. Hosting the event, helping host, so that no community member has to pay.
Excellent.
We do accept donations though, so if you, again, talking about streamlining, yes, if you guys want to write us a check, it's to Keep Carroll Beautiful, and if we do get money, like cash money, please put it in the envelope, and if you would like a tax receipt, just put your name and address on it. This year, I just read that all the donations are tax deductible, even if you don't itemize. So up to $300 you can just deduct from your taxes. So this is a great time to give.
That's great. Yeah. And it's important, I think, to take a second just to acknowledge how much work that Keep Carroll Beautiful does in the community, which in turn completely affects everything. It increases our commerce, it lowers crime. I mean, the work that you guys do genuinely makes a huge difference. What, for every $1 donated to Keep Carroll Beautiful, how much is it like that you guys put back into the community? I think it's like $300 and something back.
It varies by year, but it's between $350 to $450, I think.
That's
of
amazing.
value. So
that's what you put back into the community,
right?
So that's a great. I mean, honestly, that really puts it in perspective in terms of, if you think, thanks to the sponsors here, people can drop off all their electronics, which we need to talk about what can be brought here in a second. And I'm looking at Hannah because I know she's got that list. But it's really important to note, thanks to these sponsors, people aren't having to pay anything. So this really opens up the room to make a donation that will be reinvested back into the community.
I mean, if you think about it, if you drive through a location and you're trying to purchase a property for a house or start a business and there's trash all over the place, then you're thinking like, do I even want to come to this neighborhood? Do I want to employ people who live here and do that? Or do you want to move into a clean community that looks good, that looks green and looks healthy? So
amazing. So thank you guys for putting this kind of event together, and thank you to all the sponsors that you mentioned that are making this possible and covering all those costs. Hannah, let's talk about what can be brought to e-recycling.
Man, I have been waiting all day for this question.
She didn't sleep last night.
I have been waiting in anticipation because so many people ask. They're like, can I bring my microwave? I'm so sorry, but you cannot bring your microwave. Or when I kind of think of electronics as anything you can take to the office, like your computer for sure, any PCs, your TVs, your keyboards, your laptops, your sound equipment, your video games, actually, any stereo equipment, anything like that, of course, please bring it. But household items, so your coffee pots, no ma'am. No, sir. Your microwave, please take it to a charitable organization. You've got several in the community. Highly recommend just donating those. As well as we had a question about an electric toothbrush the other day. You can bring the battery. Now, we are accepting batteries. However, please get rid of the electric toothbrush because that is not really electronics. Something to note as well as years in the past, we've accepted tennis shoes. We're not doing tennis shoes this year, and we are not accepting any light bulbs of any kind. Again, as I mentioned before, you can take a few bulbs to the Home Depot or Lowe's, as well as there's several Batteries Plus that can take it.
Right.
So in Douglasville and Newnan. And all that information is on the keepcarrollbeautiful.org website. So Marty did a great job revamping of where can I recycle these items that you can take. And
please send us questions about those too. We recently had a local bookstore, the Hortons, asked us about peanuts. What do we do with packing peanuts? So we put that on the website. So if you have any questions, how to recycle weird items or items that may be dangerous, we will be happy to help you out and share that information later too. So
perfect. So office electronics, televisions, not console TVs, but tube TVs you can bring, not console TVs.
No tube
yes,
TVs.
If it has wood on it, we cannot accept. Yeah,
you can't bring console TVs.
Yeah, right. The wood is really hard to. I get this question a lot.
Yeah,
it's hard to separate the wood from the glass and the electronics. Therefore, it's super hard to recycle, and pretty much it's just not worth it at the end of the day.
Yeah. Plus, some of those old TVs have like radioactive bits in them, so you probably don't need that either in the landfill. So
yes,
it's great that you can recycle the other ones, but just not that. So no kitchen items, no power tools, stuff like that. You can't bring those.
No.
So also the home improvement stores have a battery recycling, and I don't know if they have the old drill program, but definitely the batteries for the tools can go to home improvement centers. And the same for the curly bulbs and the regular bulbs. Unfortunately, they go into trash, but we are not taking any bulbs. They just pose a lot of danger to our volunteers, and it's a quick event where we have heavy items and the bulbs just
it's just too cumbersome.
Yeah.
True. Now let's talk about the batteries. You mentioned that you guys are taking batteries. What kind of batteries?
Household batteries. Anything.
Yes,
yeah.
The tiny ones.
Yeah.
So no car batteries.
No car batteries or from power tools or any other large batteries. The batteries you can hold in your hand. That's the ones that we are looking for.
And if you could please put them in small Ziploc bags and separate it between regular alkaline and the rechargeable ones. We have to recycle them separately, so we have to have a lot of volunteer time dedicated to sorting them out, like little, Cinderella story where you have to get the bees and the rice to the side. It's kind of how we have to do that too. So if they're pre-separated, that would be awesome.
Perfect. So one more time before we go to our second break, when and where is this event?
October 10, this upcoming Saturday at Midway Church between Carrollton and Villa Rica at 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
We look forward to having you there.
Excellent. Well, we're going to take our second break now, but when we come back, we're going to continue our conversation with Keep Carroll Beautiful, the Executive Director, Martyna Griffin, and Board Member Hannah Smith. So stay with us.
For more than 70 years, you have turned to Tanner Health System for your healthcare needs. As our community moves forward, Tanner is here for you. Strong, safe, and close to home. Routine medical appointments, urgent elective surgeries, and imaging are back on the calendar at our hospitals and Tanner Medical Group practices. With the safety of our patients, staff, and community always our top priority. Learn more at tanner.org. Hashtag We Are Tanner Strong. That's tanner.org. Hashtag We Are Tanner Strong.
At Oak Mountain Academy, our academic excellence shines through innovation and a personalized educational experience. Our pre-K 3 through 12th grade environment offers a family-oriented atmosphere. We are an independent school with faith-based values and an academy honor code. Our academic standards prepare our students for college and beyond. I'm Patrick Duran, headmaster, inviting you to visit us on the mountain or at oakmountain.us. Come see how our warriors are creating legacies.
And we're back to Community Voice. I'm your host, Josh Engel. We got Keep Carroll Beautiful in the studio today. If you're just tuning in to this episode, it's been very important. We've been discussing their upcoming e-recycling event. So if you're just tuning in and you want to donate some electronics, be sure to go back to the WLBB Facebook page. You can watch the Facebook Live of this interview, and then you can also check out the podcast of this episode, which will be uploaded to this station's website as well as graditcommunications.com. There's great information in there, so definitely go back and check it out. So we're talking to Executive Director Martyna Griffin and Board Member Hannah Smith. We're talking about the e-recycling event that's coming up this weekend. So we're going to recap what's going to be going on at e-recycling, but I kind of wanted to briefly change pace here for a second and ask about the future. What do you guys have coming up in the future? What are your plans as far as recycling events moving forward?
So now that we know what we're dealing with, and as we mentioned before, we're going to follow all the COVID procedures for this event with masks and gloves and social distancing. We are hoping to go back to our 2 electronics recycling events per year and bring back some of the other events that we typically do every couple of years. We talked about paper shredding. We're looking at tires. So we don't have a list as of today, but we may next Tuesday after our board meeting. So
Sure.
So look out for that. We'll be posting on our website and on social media.
But the plan moving forward is you guys are going to try to
Yes.
operate it as normal,
Yeah.
hopefully.
I feel like with outdoor events, it's much better option anyway. So we hope to follow the procedures we had this year, and we're successful. So
Excellent. Well, Hannah and Martyna have definitely put together a streamlined version of e-recycling this year to keep in mind COVID guidelines. So for folks that may just be tuning in, let's recap.
So we will be at Midway Church only this year. It's between Carrollton and Villarica, so it's a good spot for everybody. Between 9 in the morning to 1 p.m. this Saturday, which is October 10. So you will pull in. We have a short questionnaire to just learn where you heard about the e-recycling from, and then you will go forward to our stations where our volunteers will unload your recyclables.
Yes, and we are stressing this year at Midway, please stay in your car. This is for your safety as well as our volunteers' safety and our board members and the employees. We want you to stay in your car and have your electronics ready to go in your back seat or in your trunk. That way you can just pop your button and just say, click your tailgate open, and then we will be ready to go. And volunteers will be ready with masks and gloves to pick up your e-recycling out of your car for you. That way you do not have to get in your car. And our goal, honestly, is to get you in and out in 5 minutes. That way you can go and enjoy your Saturday. We know you've got lives and busy things to do, and the weather is fantastic. So we want you to get in and out as quick as possible.
Now, Hannah, you mentioned earlier the list of what can and cannot be taken. What can be brought on Saturday?
So for electronics, think of it as anything that you can take to the office. That's what we want you to bring. So your computers, your TVs, your keyboards, your mouses, your phones, your laptops, anything of that nature, or as well as, of course, like your stereo systems, any video consoles and systems. Please bring that. We want you to recycle that as well. The only thing that we're going to stress not to bring are your console TVs. So that's the TVs with the wood outside of them. We are not accepting any sort of light bulbs this year. And in years past, Keep Carroll Beautiful has done the shoe recycling in conjunction with this event. We are not doing any shoes this year as well. So we just want your electronics. We want to save those from the landfill, and we will recycle those properly for you.
So we just got a text from our board president. Jacqueline is saying also bring your cell phones and tablets, because those are the items that we accept for sure.
And we should take a minute to mention one of my favorite parts of the Keep Carroll Beautiful partnership with Atlanta Recycling Solutions is that Atlanta Recycling Solutions emulsify the hard drives in computers and chips in phones. So
they log them up immediately. No one touches those until they are properly recycled. So if you're worried about your data, you can restore factory defaults on your computer or cell phone, but they will lock it up and crash it for you. There's no data loss.
That's so great.
Yes, and they are actually like R2 certified, which is the national certification for safe recycling for all e-recycling vendors. So nationwide, it is a certified spot for you to safely recycle your information.
That's great. Shout out to Atlanta Recycling Solutions for
know,
making
we
that
love
possible.
them.
Well, one more time, let's talk about the sponsors, because this is a very expensive initiative, but thankfully the sponsors have covered it and made it to where Carroll County citizens aren't going to have to pay some exorbitant fee to get rid of these electronics.
Right. So every year we have the Strong Sustainable Southwire Initiative is helping with both events, and this year they're doing that from far away, but they're still letting us use the truck, which is great. That's huge help. We have Brad Cole, Southland Insurance, we have the Sheriff's Department, Carroll County, SLM Recycling, Villa Rica Golden City Lions, and Grady Communication.
Which we thank you again for letting us come this morning. We really appreciate it.
For sure. And we're going to be out at the e-recycling, Grady Communications, from 9 to noon, I believe.
That's right.
KISS 102.7. So be sure to tune in and check out Seth Kane and myself will be out there.
Oh, awesome.
And having a good time, yeah. So I'll be out there with you guys checking this event out. So it's going to be a great day. I'm very much looking forward to it.
And it is rain or shine. We have tents, so even if it's raining, we will be able to get you in and out pretty quickly and hopefully not rained on. So
wonderful.
Yes.
All right.
Just another reason to stay in your car. If it's raining, just stay in your car. We will take care of it for you.
Hannah's got it figured out. I love it. So any final thoughts?
Again, it is at Midway Church only this year, and it is from 9 to 1. So please bring your stuff out and spread the word.
Excellent.
Thank you for having us.
All right. Well, Keep Carroll Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio today. And hey, all you at home, thank you for tuning in. See